Never assume that an organization won't have the budget to pay you what you're seeking simply because it's nonprofit. One of the organizations that I've worked in that was a nonprofit gave me the biggest bump in my pay that I had ever experienced before, because even though they're a nonprofit, they have the air of a for-profit organization. To get to a conversation of negotiation, whenever you're talking to any employer, whether it's nonprofit or for-profit, always go in with a little bit of research that you've done on what people who are in that position, preferably in that industry, are generally making. If they're saying, what is your desired salary, but they don't let you put a range in, they just want you to put a number in. So there are two numbers that you could actually put in there. I would put either the minimum that you're willing to accept for this position, like the minimum you're willing to accept to go into this role, or I would put in what you actually want your desired salary to be. To some people, when they're looking at a range, they may decide that they want that top end of the range to be the number that goes in there. But I don't want you to place too much pressure on yourself to think that you're tied to that number that you put in your application, because here's what happens. If you're doing your research and you're thinking that this position will have these job duties, and according to these job duties, here's how much a person would get paid. Okay, so I'm going to put that in the application. But now that you're going through this whole elaborate interviewing process, now you find that it's not just these job duties, there are also these job duties that go in as well too. And when they come back to you and they say, hey, we want to offer you what you put in your application, during that negotiation period, you're able to say, yes, that is what I put in there, but after going through the interviewing process, I noticed that this position has more demands on it. An effective recruiter, one of their duties when they first give you a call is to, number one, make sure that you are the person that you say that you are on the resume. Meaning, do you really meet the basic qualifications or do you not? And number two is to make sure that they can afford you. And so the question that they should be asking you is, what are your salary expectations? And then you're sharing that with them. And if your salary expectations are outside of what they're able to do within their budget, they should either say it to you, or you'll find out that it's probably not going to be a good fit. A solid recruiter would actually say, hey, it's a little bit outside of what we're trying to do. And then y'all have that conversation to see if you still want to move forward or not.